What's up, everybody? It is January 8th, and it's Chris the Action Man Curtis here. I've been away from like media and stuff for a while, just kind of over it. But one of my good friends from back home, Cameron, putting out today. Today is the 8th year anniversary of me winning my first big professional belt. Was it January 8th, 2016? I fought for CES MMA up in, I think it's Rhode Island, I believe, is the first one. I fought Gil DeFreitas, man. It was a fight that, I knew they were bringing me into. I was getting brought in to lose. Like, Gil was on a tear. He was an Ultimate Fighter Brazil and all that. He was good, man. He was really good. And I remember at the time, I was, I've always been me. I'm reading the predictions and whatnot. Everybody's like, oh, he's gonna crush this can, blah blah blah. I remember being really pissed off about that one. But that was also the first fight that I left home for camp for. I went to California. I'd actually trained with, I had fought Tom Glecchio. He's at the time, my only submission loss, actually still my only submission loss, my only stoppage loss at the time. I fought him. After that fight, we stayed in contact. Tom's a really funny dude, really good dude. And when I got the fight for Gil, I had like 5 weeks. And I was like, okay, I got to go somewhere, got to step it up. I really wanted to win this fight. And I was kind of putting feelers out, and Tom's like, come to California, come train at Team Quest. So I was like, okay, well, what do I do? He's like, well, he put me in contact with Sam Alvey. This is how I actually met Sam Alvey. I ended up living with Sam Alvey for a few years, him and his family. So yeah, pretty much, I come out to California, Sam Alvey takes me in. I lived with him and his wife Britt and his family. And I ended up living with Sam for like 4 years and his family. They're, great people. And it was my first real experience and just change in the way that I train and, starting to kind of push into that bigger level. It was my first televised fight ever as well. I just remember busting my ass that camp. I went out to Team Quest. It's actually when I met Strickland as well. So yep, that's when that started. 8 years now. It was 8 years ago. And I went out there, just the level of training was so different. It was crazy. I remember I got there. It was around December when I was there. And, my first week there, I'm at Dan Henderson's Christmas party. And I'm like, well, this is strange. Like, a guy you see, being at the hell, it's Dan Henderson. Like, what the hell? And I go out there. And within my first week being there, I'm at Dan Henderson's house at his Christmas party, hanging out. I remember looking at all the belts on his wall. He has belts in a case. I just remember thinking how freaking amazing that was, and just how I wanted to get to that point. And that was such a huge turning point for me, man. The fight itself, I remember feeling really good. I walked into that fight more confident than I've ever been. I always said I was good, but after those 5 weeks of just getting beat up and having to drag myself out of bed and work and do everything and keep going to the gym and training, I felt more ready than I've ever been. And honestly, I still think to this day it's probably one of my best performances ever. I don't know if it's still up online, man, but the CES fight was Gil DeFreitas. I mean, I knocked him out in the first round. This was a guy, they're he's one fight away from getting back to UFC, blah, 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 all that. And I stopped him in a round. I don't think I got hit. Yeah, it was great. So, it's crazy, man. 8 years to the day of my first big professional win, I think. It was the start of my CES title reign. So to everybody else, to Sam, Britt, and everybody at Team Quest, I love you guys always. You guys are amazing. You guys helped change my life. Various group of people I know, I've met, everybody at Quest and Sam and Tom. Jimmy Birchfield, Sue Jr. and Senior, Pat Sullivan for CES MMA. You guys gave me opportunity when no one else would. I came in, I did my thing, and you guys were just the coolest, greatest people. And you kept giving me fights, you kept helping me build, you guys taught me so much, and you guys did so much for me. I can't thank you guys enough for the opportunity. And, CES was my first real big home, and I love you guys, I appreciate you. To the fans, the guys who've been, there's some people who've been following me since before this. I think that's kind of when I first really picked up. To you guys that are still around through the ups and downs, thick and the thin, the good behavior and the bad, I love you guys. I really do. I've always done this for myself, but the more you go, the more you realize that there are people riding with you. So I appreciate you guys as well. And at this point in my life, I'm happy. I'm done well. I'm well off finally, which is nice. But I do this for you guys too. Like, you guys have always pushed me, and to keep going when I didn't think I could. I think I should. I wasn't sure. So, I know me and fans butt head a lot, but there are you guys out there who I know who you guys are. You guys have been there for the long haul, and I appreciate you guys so much. That's about it. Yeah, fighting in 2 weeks, last week of work. So I just saw that, and I wanted to get this out there before I head up to practice. But you guys take care, and I'll catch you guys after the 20th.